Okay, going live. Hello everyone. I am Sanjay Gupta and welcome you on Sanjay Gupta Tech School. This is day 16 and I have Ankit with me. Ankit will be delivering one more concept related to Appian. Today will be the last topic that Ankit will be delivering. So I think all these 16 session will help you out if you are planning to work with Appian, want to build your career as a consultant in Appian, right? Everything practically Ankit demonstrated you, so you can go through with all the sessions. And I think in this session he will be talking about reports, right, Ankit?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just want to hand over mic to Ankit so that he can start with the session.
Okay, sure. Thanks. If you want to check all the recorded sessions, so you can go through the Code Maestro YouTube channel, and we will get all the recorded session and any other Appian related videos as well. And if you have any queries today or in future, then you can put in the Code Maestro, the Telegram channel. So whenever we have, we will get, we will reply or we will answer your questions. So in our last sessions, we learned about Appian records. Now today we will learn about Appian report. Okay. So that records are to display the data that is stored in database related to an entity and its related tables and others. So to display that, we create records. So and now if there is a requirement to display the multiple and related entities, like suppose there is a employee and employee is working on some of the tasks, and task has some different of status, and if want to get the aggregated data like in form of charts, okay, in form of tables, grids. So for that purpose we use report. Okay. And that in Appian we have the data in process instances as well, right? So to get the data from process instance and to display that also we create reports. So if I talk about the type of report, so in Appian we generally have three type of report. First is process report, then tempo report, and task report. Okay. So process reports are related to process models. Okay, so suppose I created a process model and I run multiple instances, like that there is a process model to where employee is putting the information and then it is going for approval and so on. Okay, so so for the process model there might be multiple instances, live instances, and all live instances have some data. Okay, so to use that data, to display the data, we create the report. That report is process report. So process report can also have multiple sources or multiple types. Like if I want to get the process related data, like who started the process, what is the value in the particular process variables, okay, and all process related functions, then we create on basis of a particular process instance. Okay, if I want to get the data for a particular user, okay, this is the logged in user, and I want to get the data related to the particular logged in user, then also we use the process report, but that will be on user basis. Okay, it can be on group basis or task basis as well. So suppose in a particular process model there is a UID node, user is input task, and I want to show that to the particular user to whom it is assigned. Okay, so for that we use process report, that is the type of task report. Okay, so like for this purpose we use the process report, and you know that we have a tab, the monitoring tab. Okay, there you can see all the processes instances. Okay, all the live process instances will display here. Okay, whenever we run the process instance, that will have process name. Process name is the dynamic name. Okay, and process model name, that is the static name. And if there is any error, who started this, if there is an active task or start time, end time, and we can show other details as well, okay, by clicking on this. So this is the Appian's built report, okay. Similar type of report we can create in using the, from the ourselves also by using different of functions or process variables, okay. So those all reports are process report because the source of the data is process instance in that case. Second is tempo report. So suppose there is a data that is in database table, or there is some data that is coming from third-party system, and we want to aggregate the data or we want to display the data. Suppose we are creating some KPIs, some matrices, okay. So for that we need some aggregated data, right? So to display the data in this charts format, matrix format, KPIs format, or like in grids or tables, we create the tempo report. And why we call this a tempo report? Because we have a tempo interface in Appian, right? And on tempo interface, we have one tab that is report tab. So this report will automatically display there on that tempo report tab, okay? Third is task report. So suppose there are some tasks assigned to user and I want to display those tasks, okay? So we create the report as task report, and in this tempo report and task report, first we create the interface, okay? And in interface we define the charts, the grids and everything that we are needed, and then we configure that in report. And to define if it is a tempo report or task report, we have only one checkbox. So if I click that checkbox, so it will be created a task report, and it will be displayed on the tempo tab of the Appian, okay? So it will display on the task tab of the tempo, okay? So and in that case it won't be displayed in the report tab. That's why it is task report. So with all the tasks that is assigned to me, I can see this task report as well on the task tab, okay? Now Appian charts. So as I told that in tempo report we define, display a lot of multiple type of charts. So that charts can be like that a pie chart or a column chart or bar chart, okay. So those charts we can create in Appian by using the data that we are getting from different sources, okay. So to display the aggregated data. So Appian support multiple type of charts like pie chart, bar chart, column chart, line chart, area chart, or scatter chart, okay. So if I talk about suppose this is the interface that I'm creating, AB report, okay. So if I want pie chart, okay. So you can see here we have pie chart, and you can see directly from here when you hover on this one, and if I want to use this, I can drag, okay. So this is pie chart that Appian built automatically to set the data to use our own data. We can go to expression editor and we can define its name, like suppose this is showing some employee divisions, like that, okay. We can show and chart series. So you can see here we have 3 chart series that can be, okay, more also, like currently we have 1, 2 and 3, and it display like this third chart series have this amount of data, then one have this one, and this this one, okay. So you can see here we have chart series that is defined, and this one have data 1, that's why, or count 1, that's why it is small, right? And this is 2, 3. If I increase the size, so it will increase this one. So now you can see one have this much area. So like this, we create the pie chart. There are more configurations or parameter that this pie chart have, like show data labels. If I want to show the data labels, it will display. We can use this one, okay. And you can see from here, like what all values we can use. It can be false or true. Okay, so default is false. Then if I want true, then I can. Okay, now you can see it is we can see the numbers also, right? 2, 3, and the 8 one, right? So like that we can use other parameters as well. Like we can give the help tooltip. If I want to put the condition so when we can use this one. If I want a different style, like different colors combination, we can use the color scheme. So all these things we can use here. If I want to increase or decrease the height, that also I can do. Okay, so we can use any these parameters. Okay, and we can define whatever data we are needed and whatever format we want. Okay, so we can define in this one and we can use this chart. So in Appian, it is very easy to use that particular chart to create this one. We just need a data, and once we have data, it will be easy for us to display that in chart form. Similarly, we have other type of charts as well. Like if I talk about column chart, so we have column chart. Okay, so now you can see we have the data in column format. If you want to configure the parameters or data, you can use. Currently, it have only one chart series, right? If I want to use multiple chart series, I can use this one. I can give the name like 2. It can be like 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like it is a two different data, right? So we are creating the chart series. If you want to show this in stack format instead of this type of format, then also there are some parameters that you can define and you can use. So this if suppose if as I was talking about stacking, so you can define this one. Okay, so like if I give normal, I have to just click on this one, and now you can see it is coming in the form of stacks, right? Similarly, we have other parameters like in pie chart. We can define here as well. If I want to make it as clickable chart, so that once I click on this particular one, some of the data will visible related to this particular slice. Okay, that also we can do. And for that, Appian chart support the links. Okay, so we can use the dynamic link here, and we can give the we can make it as drillable. Okay, so once I click on the particular one, the data will display. You can display that in the grid format or any other format that we can do. And you can define the color schema and height and other parameters also. Okay, so this is similar to the other chart only. Suppose I want bar chart. Okay, so in bar chart also the configurations are same as column chart, just the display, the way of display is different. Okay, in this one also we can define the multiple chart series. In this also we can make it as clickable, so that user can click and can check the data, and other parameters also. That parameters you can see from here. Okay, so all parameters are same as column chart. Okay, so we can use this one also as per our requirement. If we need column chart to display the data, we can use the column chart. If we need this type of chart, then we can use this type of charts as well. Okay, and next, if I talk, so it support line chart. Okay, so in this one also it is supporting in some of the cases we are needed this type of chart where we are showing the numbers on a particular year or a particular location, something like that. So in that case we use line chart. Okay, so in that one also we can define the multiple chart series as well, and it is like a straight line, but it's depend on data. So if data is something different, so line structure can be changed as well. Okay, so those all things we can define from here. Like if I want other chart series, I can simply define from here. So now it will have, so you can see now we have 2 lines, okay? On category 1, category 2, there are some points, category 3, and in left side, on vertical bar, you can see the numbers in left or in the horizontal one, you can see the name. Like suppose I am showing the data like countries population in 2011, 2021, 2031. So something we can do here. Okay. So like that, Appian support other charts as well. Like if I talk about area chart, you can see here, if you want to define the particular area, the form of area, so we can use this one. If I want to use multiple charts here also, we can use multiple charts. There is no any issue. And other parameters are same as we use in line chart, okay? And we can define the color scheme and other things that we can define in this chart also. So everything else is same. Just that in each and every chart, we just once we have the data, it is very easy. So we have data in the formatted form, like suppose the data in the multiple tables. So we need to create sometime the database view or a stored procedure to get the data, or if the data is coming from third parties, we have to convert the data into the formatted form in which we are needed the data into the chart. Other things are very simple in Appian charts. We have to just configure the that parameters that are needed. There is nothing else. Like there is other chart as well that I can show you. It is scatter chart. Okay, so now we do not have data in this one, but if you check this one, so we have parameters similar to the other. If we have data, then it will display it. Okay, it have label, title, whatever parameters are there. Other charts are similar, but something are different. Like it have grouping and secondary grouping, primary grouping, measurements and all that are needed to display the particular point at a particular location. Okay, that we can do here. But other things like that color schema and all we can display in this one as well. Okay, so these are charts that Appian supports. Now in Appian support 2 type of grid: read-only grid and editable grid. So sometimes we need to display the data. Okay, user won't come and update the data, just user can see the data in some of the cases. In that we use the read-only grid, and in read-only grid Appian support the pagination also. So suppose there are 100 rows in the database table, and on one page we want to display only 10 rows. Okay, when user click on forward link or the something like next button, it will move to the 11 to 20 or 21 to 30, something like that. So Appian support this out of the box. We no need to create the different code for that. So that so read-only grid support that particular. So if I show you how we create the read-only grid. So now you can see here we have this read-only grid, and if I open this one have grid field. I have I have to put the data here, and the data will be in dictionary format. Like suppose there are employee details that I want to show into the particular grid. So I have to use that into the dictionary or the CDT format. So first I have to fetch the data from the query entity using the query entity from database table or records, okay, or third party system, and we can use that, and we can define the columns as well from here. Okay, like if I suppose the particular grid needs 4 columns, so we can define those 4 columns. If the particular grid needs 5 columns, so like employee name, employee salary that I want to display, we can simply display from here. Okay, so like this we create the read-only grid. The other type of grid is editable grid. So sometimes we need to allow user to update the data, right? So we can give we need to give the edit drop down or free text so that user can go and can update the data, can upload some document. So for that we create the editable grid. Okay. So in editable grid, user can update the data, but it does not support the out of the box, the page itself. For that, we create it manually, okay, in Appian. That we can do by using some links, by using some images, but yes, we can do that. And to create the editable grid, we can simply go here and can create. So now you can see we have this editable grid, and these are the parameters that we need to configure. Okay, so like we define the header cell to define the particular column name. Okay, like if we are needed multiple columns in the particular grid, we can use multiple columns here. Okay, so as many as columns we are needed into this grid, we can configure by using header cells. Okay, if I want to fix the change the width of the particular columns, okay, that for that we can use the column configurations. To create the data into this particular one, we use the rows. Okay, in this one we can use a grid row function, okay, directly. So it will create a row. If we want multiple rows, then we can use the looping function, okay, from in this one as well, and it will create the multiple rows. If I need, I want to allow user to add new row by user itself. So for that, we can give the dynamic link as well that Appian support. Okay, so we can give we can use this parameter to give the dynamic link. Okay, so once user click on that particular link, we can append the value in the particular dictionary, and it will add the new row, okay, into that one. So suppose if I ask a user to allow the documents, so user have 10 documents, some user have 5 documents, and some have some different number of documents. So we can use this particular functionality in that case. Okay, so these are two type of grids that Appian support. Now we can talk about Appian sites. So that we talked about tempo, we talked about reports, records. Okay, so tempo is the Appian defined interface, right? We have defined tabs there. It have actions, it have records, report, tasks. Okay, so all or news, so all are this defined by Appian. Okay, but sometimes our client does not want to use this out of the box, that tabs, because some some of the users do not understand the meaning of this one. So we use the Appian sites. Appian sites are similar to other type of sites, okay, that have completely dedicated to a particular application. So we can define the branding for a particular application. We can define the name of the site for a particular application, and we can define specific application specific. Okay, so completely dedicated to the particular application or customer. So whatever branding or anything else customer want, we can define in this one. Okay, this does not have any out of the box. So this is a particular type of interface, okay, other than tempo that Appian support. Okay. Third type of interface that we have is portal. So that we discussed about tempo, we discussed about sites, but all of these things we need user to log into the system. Okay, so only authenticated user can access the sites or tempo. If suppose there are unauthenticated users that want to access the Appian site or tempo, they cannot do. So suppose there is a case. So we are creating an application for all of the taxpayers in India. Okay, and the taxpayers want to come and can fill the details, and then the particular department like income tax department or can see the data, can approve the things, okay, and can perform the internal activities. So if I talk about that the countries, each and every person who pay the tax, so there are a lot of users. So for each users we cannot take the Appian license, because in that case it will be very costly. Okay, so we need unauthenticated access in that case. Okay, so that Appian, so that user can directly come and can submit their request or submit their income tax form. And for internal purpose, like internal income tax department can use the Appian sites and tempo. So for this, we create the portal. Okay, so portal we can say is the interface for unauthenticated user, where we no need to log in into the system. So it directly get the data from Appian. Appian's records, Appian's database, or Appian processes, but with the help of Appian record functionality or Appian's web APIs. Okay, so we can directly use the web. We can create the web API and we can get the data on the portal interface directly. And if I want to save the data, in that case also I can use the record. Okay, so that it will store the data into record that we can that will be stored in the database indirectly. And if I can use the web APIs also to store the data. Okay, so like for this type of purpose we use the portal. So like this is the newer feature in Appian that comes like 1 year back only. So these are three main interfaces that Appian support. Appian support one more interface, that is embedded interface, that we call. So in that one, suppose there is a already built website or any of the portal where client is not using Appian, but we want to display some components of Appian on their own already built like HTML or JavaScript based portal or website. In that case also we can embed our Appian's component directly there with the help of JavaScript that provided by Appian, okay, and some keys. So that we call as embedded interface. Okay, if I want to use any of the websites or any of the portal directly into Appian, so Appian support iframe also, that we have web content field. Okay, so in that one we can display the data from the or display the interface of the that is not part of Appian. Okay, but it will work similar that we work on that particular portal directly. So this is all about Appian interfaces, reports, records that we discussed. So this is all about basic of Appian that we covered. So you can go through the sessions one by one, and if you are already watching the sessions, if you are already learning the things, so you can learn these particular things as well. And wherever you have query, you can put on our Telegram channel, or you can email us. And if you still do not have instance, so you can request on our Telegram channel, or you can put your details on this this Google form. Okay, so with this note, thank you everyone, and I want to hand over to Sanjay sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit, for sharing all the sessions. So I think this whole bootcamp will be helping folks, those who are enthusiasts for Appian technology. So thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge, and I hope soon we'll see some positive feedbacks from viewers. Like if by watching this bootcamp they will be getting some jobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ankit.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending, those who have joined all the sessions, and those who are watching the recording, thanks to you as well. Thank you so much.